Every year, Gartner names the top disruptive technologies. For 2026, they picked 12. So I compared all of them against an audit database of 202 category leaders. And the biggest pattern that emerged wasn't about any of the tech. It was that in an emerging category, the competitor that beats you is almost never the one selling the same product that you are. It's a budget line that doesn't exist yet, or a platform that decides to turn you into a feature in their product. It's an analyst that's quietly working against you to rewrite the category, or maybe it's your own go to market motion that's fighting against your buyers. Every young category moves through a similar maturity cycle, from nobody believing the problem is real to early validation to a land grab to a knife fight over price and execution. Where you sit in that cycle decides which of these six competitors you're actually facing. So let's go through them. Number one is the budget that doesn't exist yet. So deepfake detection has everything a category needs. It's a real threat, it's got the scary headlines and promo, and it's a hard technical problem. The three leaders have all raised money on those premises, but no one has broken out to be a potential unicorn. So compare that to legal AI or healthcare AI, born in the same years on the same models. Harvey and OpenEvidence are now worth $10 billion plus each. The difference is how customers fund it. A hospital already pays doctors to scribble notes, and a law firm carefully tracks billable hours of attorneys. Harvey and OpenEvidence were able to siphon existing budget from a line item that already existed, and the ROI math was easy. Deepfake risk doesn't have a line item to pull from. So if your buyer isn't already paying for the problem, you're not just selling a product, you are also selling a behavior change on top of it. And that makes it a slower and more expensive go-to-market motion. Number two is the platform that turns you into a feature in their product. Synthetic data is doing two really interesting things at the same time. It's both maturing and consolidating. So Gartner named it as a 2026 disruptor, but most of the startups that pioneered it are already gone. NVIDIA bought Gretel and SAS bought Hazy. So why is this happening? Well, synthetic data is a horizontal product that makes the bigger platform stickier to their customers. Better training data sells more NVIDIA chips and more Databricks contracts. So the platforms were super motivated to either build their own or buy it. And that means that the whole category is kind of landing inside an existing tool. The independents that stayed independent have mostly niched down or are kind of quietly disappearing. So the lesson is that the smartest move here when the platform players are circling can be an early exit, but you need to go into it with that as a possibility. Number three is your buyer's calendar. Two factors can influence how fast your category matures, and both live in your buyer's calendar. Number one is how long your product takes to implement for your customers, and number two is how long it takes for them to see value. When a single user can adopt your product in an afternoon and get value immediately, the whole category speeds up. Granola hit $1 billion valuation in AI note-taking in just a few years. But when the product needs a long rollout, like a hospital procurement cycle, or it needs regulator sign-off, or maybe it relies on an OEM manufacturing schedule, that category is going to move slower, even though your moat is going to be deeper. So if you can't move your buyer's buying cycle, what can you do? Well, we can compress time to value. And AI is definitely doing that right now. As the team at Dynamo Ventures said to me, AI is shrinking the implementation cycles and clearly shortening the time to ROI for customers. For a startup that's relying on personal debt or venture money, that compression can be the difference between sinking and swimming. Four is the fight for naming rights. In a young category, nobody's agreed on what this thing is called yet, or maybe even where the edges of it are. So everyone with a stake starts pushing their own vision. The incumbents try to fold that new thing into the category that they already own. When agentic tooling got hot, Datadog and New Relic started pushing AI observability, stretching the monitoring word that they were already using and leading to embody and accompany the new one. Startups raced to plant their own flag, like an answer engine optimization, AEO or GEO or AI SEO or LLMO. Each vendor is hoping to use its label and make that be the one that sticks on the category. And analysts aren't neutral referees either. Writing a category name and a definition and a vendor shortlist is a product that they can turn around and sell. And just think about who buys Gartner's Magic Quadrant. The point here is that it's not a zero-sum game. It is a variety of stakeholders who are all trying to shape the category at the same time, and your only defense is guiding with your buyer's language before someone else does. Number 5 is your go-to-market motion. Your buyer influences your GTM motion way more than you do. If one person can start using your product without asking for anyone's permission, bottoms-up growth and a PLG play can totally work. But if it has to clear procurement and security review, or maybe even a regulator, you are a top-down org, whether you like it or not. So of Gartner's 12 disruptors, 2/3 of them sell top-down, and only like the prompt-to-tool apps, think like Lovable, are the truly product-led disruptors in that report. Across all 202 audits, the pure product-led winners shared only one trait that a single user could adopt it. Cursor, Figma, Granola. Every category with a committee or a regulator in the loop was a sales down or a hybrid approach. So before you build your whole plan around some freemium PLG model, think about the steps that your customer actually has to take to adopt you. Number 6 is the missing flywheel. I'll be honest, after 202 audits, the companies start to all blur together, except for one trait that kept coming up, and it clearly separated the winners from the pack. Some companies compound, which means they get better with every new customer. And the compounding can take different shapes. So like Figma and Miro, they run on a multiplayer loop, which means every user drags in collaborators and they share files and they make it more painful to leave. Clay runs on a community loop where users can share their playbooks, and those playbooks bring in the next wave of users. Gong and Granola get smarter with every conversation and organization that they touch, and that makes them harder to rip out. So the thing that they all have in common is that customer number 20 makes winning customer number 21 cheaper and easier. It's the single strongest predictor of who will survive an emerging category. So while your competitors debate who they want to be when they grow up, ask yourself what makes you measurably better with every single customer you win. The rival selling a product like yours is usually the least of your problems in a new category. The competitor that actually sneaks up on you is a missing budget, or a platform that swallows your category, or it's your buyer's calendar, or the industry analyst, or your own GTM motion. So to keep getting free playbooks and frameworks every week, you can subscribe here or find them all at firsttomarket.co.